How you doing, my sister? Come deal with us. Come deal with us. How you doing? What's your name, sis? I'm Pelaya. Martina? Okay, I like your drink. Martina. Okay, all praise, all praise.
I don't want to be on camera, but you can have my voice on there, but I don't want to be on camera. But I do want to talk to y'all for a second. I heard y'all were ministering the word, and I did want y'all to know that today I had to cremate my son, my 2-year-old son. Right here. He passed away on April 13th of just last month.
Okay.
And God is real. He's able. Like, I'm okay. I wanted y'all to know that. Continue to spread God's word and His love because He is real and He does not make any mistakes. And you know, doing this, like the cremation, I thought was going to be the worst thing that I was going to do. That I wasn't going to be able to get through it. That I was probably going to still be on the floor crying and grieving. But I want y'all to know that I was okay. I got through it.
So you coming fresh from the funeral right now?
That was we finished the cremation at 11:04. His funeral was last Saturday, not this past.
If you don't mind, I ask what happened.
He drowned.
He drowned.
Joel, this is not the outcome people in this community wanted to hear. A 2-year-old boy losing his life right here in the neighborhood pool.
That's tragic. It's shocking, to hear that happened so close to home.
Jonathan Jones lives a few houses down from the McKinley Mill neighborhood pool. It's a place fond memories were created. His children spending many summer days swimming here.
I kind of saw some of the police cars and ambulance outside, at my house, and so I kind of came outside and looked up the street to see what was going on.
At 7:45 last night, police say the mother of a 2-year-old boy reported him missing in the 3500 block of Pritchard Court. Moments later, he was found in this pool. Crews rushing him to the hospital where he died. Resident Rhonda Moody has lived here for 20 years.
The big question is, why was the child there by themselves? That's just so uncommon. Usually families are at the pool. And at that time, why was the child there by themselves? We just don't understand it.
And Raleigh police tell me that investigations continue. They also say no charges have been filed. We're live in Raleigh. I'm Akila Davis, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.
But people you see on the sign, that's who salvation for. So God's only coming and dealing with His people. But I want to deal with that real quick. Read.
This is a book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it.
So that's what happened, right? Your son passed away. The Bible calls it sleep. Why is it called it sleep? Because it's not permanent as of now. So sleep meaning, again, he will, I don't want to get too deep into the Bible, but again, he will be back on earth, right? So, and Lord willing, he come into a house where, the Lord's teaching, the God's teaching His word, right? And then he'll be able to receive that salvation. Read it again.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was,
right,
and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it.
Give me three and one. All right, so the spirit, when you die, it goes back to God. So what he's doing right now is called sleep. He's resting in the chambers with the Most High. All right? Now, what you got to do, I'm going to read this one more scripture on that because I know it's hard. It just recently happened. But what you have to do now is start thinking about how you're going to achieve salvation. All right? But read.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die.
So there's a season for everything. There's a time for everything. We come into this earth, we live our life, and then there's a time where we have to leave this earth. All right? But we have to realize that the Lord has set these cycles in place, right? He set these cycles in place. Well, look, sis, I don't want you to go. I do want you to hear these scriptures. I do want you to hear these. I'm gonna make it quick, but I want you to hear these. All right. Well, look, sis, it's a number and a website on the back. Give us a call. But we're going to read these scriptures while you go, but it's a number and a website on the back. Concerning death, and then I want that Isaiah 30 and 20 after that. Read that.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 38, verse 16.
Read.
My son, let tears fall down over the dead.
So you're supposed to mourn when you lose someone. You're supposed to mourn. It's natural. All right, read.
And begin to lament, as if thou hadst suffered great harm thyself.
Because that's somebody close to you. You're going to feel that. Read.
And then cover his body according to the customs, and neglect not his burial.
So the custom of the Israelites, our custom, we buried our dead. That's how we did. Cremation, that's something that was invented today. But we buried our dead. But it said don't neglect it. Make it happen, right? Read.
Weep bitterly and make great moan.
So, yes, be sad, weep, right? Read.
And use lamentation, as he is worthy.
Right.
And that day or two, lest there be evil spoken of.
So, because we're supposed to believe in this word, right? We got to believe in this word. It's not necessarily, if they die in keeping the commandments of God, it's not necessarily a loss. That person will have achieved the kingdom of heaven, right? And Lord willing, he'll be back on this earth to do that, to fulfill that. Read.
And then comfort thyself for thy heaviness. For heaviness cometh death.
So you hear that, sis? It says comfort yourself for your heaviness after that. It says after that weeping and mourning. All right, I'm going to cry aloud. After that weeping and mourning, you're supposed to comfort yourself for your heaviness. Read.
For heaviness cometh death, and the heaviness of the heart breaketh strength.
So the scriptures say if you're too sorrowful, sis, this is for you. This is start back and comfort yourself. Read.
Listen to this, sis.
For heaviness cometh death.
Start up.
Weep bitterly and make great moan.
Right. So you're gonna mourn. Read.
And use lamentations, as he is worthy.
Read.
And that a day or two, lest there be even spoken of.
So you want to mourn, but like, of course it's gonna hurt you later on down the road, but you don't want to let this break you. That's what the scripture's going into. When you lose someone, don't let it break you. All right? Because if you believe in the scriptures, you got to focus on getting that salvation, getting the kingdom. Right?
That's
Read.
Right. And then comfort thyself for thy...
Now it's time, once the mourning's over, it's time to start comforting yourself. Don't start dwelling in it. Don't keep his room the same way it was with all the pictures and images and things like that. Don't do that, sis, because you're only going to bring sorrow and heaviness to your mind. All right? So it says begin to comfort yourself. You know what I'm saying? Start making changes. Do things to better yourself. Push forward. Right? Read.
Then comfort thyself for thy heaviness, for of heaviness cometh death.
Because you can start putting evil thoughts in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Bring yourself down. Read.
And the heaviness of the heart breaketh strength.
You got to keep your spirit strong. So what you need to do is start surrounding yourself with godly people that are going to build you up. Now give me that Isaiah 30 and 20. And that's why the Lord brought you here today. That's what he's trying to show you. That's why he brought you here today. Read.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity.
So you going through a hardship right now. And all things are of the Lord.
That's right.
So there's a comfort in that too. All right? It's not you cursed. Well, we are going through that. But it's not that you yourself are just such an evil person and everything's coming. The Lord's dealing with you because he's trying to bring you somewhere. All right, watch this, read.
And the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
So guess what? That affliction brought you here to where your teachers would be. These are the men of God. These are the men of the Lord. The true disciples of Christ. The Christian pastor in the church is not teaching you who you are, how to properly get saved. He will make you feel good. He will tell you a good speech and all of that. What's going to happen, though, is you're going to go away feeling good, and when Christ comes back, you're not going to be ready.
That's right.
That's what we're here for. Your teacher's not hid anymore. God put you right in front of him. Read.
But thine eyes shall see thy teachers, and thine ears shall hear word behind thee saying, this is the way.
This right here, knowing who you are, you're an Israelite. You didn't say what tribe you're from, but you're an Israelite. Since you're from the tribe of Judah, you're national. You're God's chosen people.
That's right.
This walk is the way.
That's right.
Read.
Walk ye in it.
Start keeping God's commandments. That's what we teach. That's what we are always governed by. That's what Moses gave us. That's the road to salvation.
Right.
Yes, sir.
What club was that at?
Admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
But the Zulu Nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again.
And I just want to add on, because I know you mentioned about your son, right? Okay. And this is going to play right into Deuteronomy 28, which we use that chapter to show you your nationality, right? Deuteronomy 28 real quick. I want to say 18, then we're going to go to 2 Samuel. Bring it out. All right? Because everything that's written here in this book is meant for us to use as an example to be able to better our lives. So that way now the mental state of us and the generations that come after us will be even better, and they'll just continue to grow and grow. But if we stay in a lower state, then we won't actually grow as a people. We'll stay low. Right. I want you to hear what one of the curses were if we didn't keep God's commandments. Just watch this. Come on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 18. Curse shall be the fruit of thy body.
So the fruit of your body. You know what that is, sis? You know what that is, ma'am? What's the fruit of your body? You say the way we live our lives. What about you, sis? What's the fruit of our body? Huh? You know what the fruit of our body is? What is it? Because I want to make sure y'all understand it. Your children. Your fruit of your body. Because think about it. The man plants the seed, then as fruit. Like, think about it like as the fruit. That's the fruit of your body. That's the children.
Right.
Right? So it says, curse shall be the fruit of your body. Listen to this. Come on.
And the fruit of thy land.
And then it's also going into now your land also, where you will be at. Come on.
The increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep.
Go to 2 Samuel chapter 12. I want to say it's 14. Let me look. Hold on. Yeah, 12, 14. That's what I wanted. I had to make sure I had to look it up because I forgot it. Now, David, he had to go through something similar with a baby, right? He had committed sin, but then there was a baby that was going to be born to him. He was worried about the baby's health and whether it was going to stay alive, right? Now, this is going right into Deuteronomy 28. I wanted to show you this. Read that.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 12 and verse 14. Howbeit, because by this deed thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme, the child also that is born unto thee shall surely die.
Right, so because David had committed sin, this is why now the Lord had killed his child. He said, because you had committed sin, then now I'm going to kill the fruit of your body. So that's what he was bringing out right here. Come on.
And Nathan departed unto his house.
Now the prophet, that's Nathan. He was talking to David in between, like after he had committed the sin, he was talking to David about, hey, you don't want to do this wrong, but you can rebuild. You can't come back to the Lord with this. You just have to keep what he said. So that way, what just happened doesn't happen again. Come on.
And the Lord struck the child that Uriah's wife bare unto David, and it was very sick.
And the child became very sick, right? The child became very sick. This is how you know the Lord started to intervene. Come on.
David therefore besought God for the child, and David fasted.
David fasted. I mean, he didn't eat nothing, didn't drink anything. Go ahead.
And went in and lay all night upon the earth.
So now he was sad when he found out that the child was very sick unto death. Come on.
And the elders of his house arose and went to him to rise him up from the earth.
Because he was on the ground. He was on the ground weeping. Come on.
But he would not. Neither did he eat bread with them.
So he couldn't even have food because he wasn't feeling good, like what you said also, sis. And it goes into a lot of that happened inside of our community. Brothers and sisters, we see our brothers and sisters get shot down in the street. Some of them getting hung in different countries. A lot of us being homeless, looking for food, looking for shelter.
That's right.
Because it's our children die, but then we have our whole nation that also is in mourning. So we got to think about our own and everybody that's in our nation. So the mourning happens not because I'm mourning also for the fact that my people are in hurt.
That's right.
That's the reason why we out here right now. I'm out here for the sole purpose to reach sisters just like y'all. To reach brothers that also are trying to listen too. Come on.
And it came to pass on the 7th day that the child died.
That the child died from his sickness. Come on.
And the servants of David feared to tell him that the child was dead. For they said, behold, while the child was yet alive, we spake unto him, and he would not hearken unto our voice.
So they was trying to talk while the child was still alive, but he wasn't. You know how somebody's on a hospital bed, and then you're trying to talk to them before they leave? But they can't hear you because their spirit is about to leave from them and go back to the Lord. That's what he's saying here. Come on.
How will he then vex himself if we tell him that the child is dead?
Now watch what David did after he found out that the child died, because he was fasting, weeping, crying, mourning for the child, right? Watch what David did. Come on.
But when David saw this, that his servants whispered, David perceived that the child was dead. Therefore David said unto his servants, is the child dead? And they said, he is dead.
Now, come on, watch this. Now he found out he was dead, right? Come on.
Then David arose from the earth and washed and anointed himself and changed his apparel.
So now because his clothing was sad clothing, right? He was weeping. He was weeping. He was sad, right? He felt bad. But then once he learned that his child actually died, this is what David did. He washed himself, anointed himself, right? Come on.
And changed his apparel and came into the house of the Lord and worshiped. Then he came to sit to his own house, and when he required, they set bread before him, and he did eat.
So after he learned that the child had died, there was nothing else that he could do about it. He said, you know what? He got up. He realized that it was of the Lord because of what sin that he had did, anointed himself, washed himself, ate bread, and then he kept on going on with his life. Because, you got it? Now read this, and then I want Sirach 22 and 11. It's all going back to the curse I had read in Deuteronomy 28. Okay, all going back to that. I want you to stay around for the other verses I got. Read that.
Verse 21. Then said his servants unto him, what thing is this that thou hast done? Thou didst fast and weep for the child while he was alive. But when the child was dead, thou didst rise and eat bread.
So he started to realize, and that's all I want with that. Sirach 22 and 11. So he realized that now that the child is dead, the Lord took him up. I can't do anything else about it. I can weep for the dead, but I can't now make myself mourn so much to where now my soul starts to deteriorate within me.
That's right.
My blood slows, my mind starts to weaken, stress starts to rise, blood pressure and all that stuff can start going up. You need to be mindful of the weeping and the mourning spirit that comes upon us when sadness enters into our life. Because if we allow it to take over us, we die. We have to make sure that we continue to live on and give our generation some example. The fact that y'all are here means that y'all are here to be able to be first witnesses to your families, to be a good example to your family, to be a light. Because right now, even though the sun is shining right now, it's dark in this country. A lot of things they allow and push inside of our children, our minds. It's dark. What you got, 22 and 11? Read that.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 22 and verse 11. Weep for the dead, for he has lost the light, and weep for the fool, for he wanted understanding.
So now I want you to go back to Deuteronomy 28, and I want you to read verse. I want to ask you 2 questions, then go. I want to ask you real quick. I want to ask you 2 questions, then go.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.